You mentioned that you got sober.
Yeah.
And I was curious what the event was that sort of made you think, well, I have to make a change.
Do you know, it wasn't, sometimes they talk about you have an epiphany, and I did. It was one day my wife was out, and I was opening up, and I thought, am I out of my mind? Yes. And I made a phone call. And from that moment...
Wait, you were opening up what?
I was opening up everything you can think of. Oh, no. It was 2 weeks after Christmas.
Every bottle, every gift that had come in.
I was fine. I was watching The Third Man, and I knew it was a combination of Orson Welles, the drugs and the booze and me, whatever, and I went, I'm on, that. And I went to a meeting, and I've been sober ever since. That was 32 years ago. It's a very odd feeling. But I had some great people. I spoke to some people at the time. It's one of those things that you don't even question it. It became a thing about, I don't even ask it anymore, about why. It's kind of something happened to me that was quite extraordinary. I'll always thankful for it, and I must want to make comments about anybody else. It's like that something will take over your life. It's a higher power. It's something else that you don't question now. It's like saying the last thing you think of. Stress happens to you. It's no longer thinking like the old days when people go, oh God, how do I get through this? You go, well, you get through it by thinking about it and, dealing with it, not by not dealing with it.
It kind of seems like you moved to America around the time when you realized you may have needed to grow up a little bit, or you needed to...
Yeah, in the mid-'70s, then I met my wife, Gwen, who's been an enormous influence on my life. She was an actress when I met her. But after a few years, she decided that she'd rather, follow me around, whatever. Very gifted actress, Gwen, but she's a great woman. We're still together. I still look to her. She's still the smartest person about certain things that I'll ever ask, which is important. And, my lifestyle at the beginning when we first met was exactly the same. But eventually you go, this is somebody who I want to change your life for? Yeah, you want to change your life? Yes, she was part of all that, yeah. And it's paid off to an enormous degree.
You've been married, what now, 30-something years?
39 years,
And she's your third wife.
Yeah.
How lovely it is to discover, after this much living, this much career, something that fits you that well.
But love's a difficult thing. Love is not lost. Well, it is. Part of it is that, but it's also a lot of other things which you discover and can be as rewarding or more rewarding than those initial lustful ideas,
Sure.
So it's being, loving somebody is it's a great addition to your life if you're prepared to do it and continue with it, and if you're not lazy about it. That's either about your wife or your kids. It's all different kinds of love, but that unconditional kind, which you can talk about, but it makes you better, I think, as a person and as an actor. Understanding that. Can you get a bigger understanding rather than dismiss every time anything goes bad to dismiss it? Think it through a little more. I think that's what you gain through age, and that's what you gain through. There's an old saying that your youth shall be overcome through wisdom and treachery, which I still think is a good line. And here we are 32 years later. And you're still like, yeah, that was great. And it's as if it happened yesterday.
Hey folks, thanks for watching. If you like what you just saw, then why not subscribe? Click right here for lots more off camera. And if you want to see the hour-long version of these conversations, I'm going to give you the secret link. Here it is, offcamera.com. Check it out.